excited to have you with me again today. I've got my lovely friend and model Mary with me, and we're going to be showcasing a look that we think would work absolutely fabulously well for a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day party. So let's get started. I'm going in with my Mario Badescu Aloe and Rose Water Spray. I'm doing this because I want to wake up Mary's skin a little bit. You can absolutely do this step with a Fix Plus spray or any facial spray that you have. Now I'm going in with my Embryolis that serves me as a primer and moisturizer, as you already know if you've been watching my videos at all, and I'm working this product in with my fingers. It's okay for me to do this because Mary's my home girl, but if you're going to be working on a client, you might want to get their permission before you do this. Otherwise, just go in with your brush. So I'm really buffing that moisturizer into her skin and letting her skin absorb all of the goodness it has to offer. So once that is done and her skin is looking good, I'm going to go in now with my Becca Illuminator Topaz, the liquid form. And again, I'm going to work that illuminator in with my fingers so that it really gets into her skin. And what this product is going to do is just going to help me enhance the glow that her skin will radiate. I want her to look radiant. I want her to look glowy. I want her to look really, really fresh. And this illuminator is going to help me achieve that. So I'm going to do that and then just let her skin absorb all of the goodness from the illuminator. Once that's down, I'm going to go in and of course prep her lips because it's all part of the look. Going in with good old Vaseline, and I'm just working that on a Q-tip all along her lips so that when we go in with the lipstick, it's looking on point. Now I do apologize, I lost a lot of the footage from the eyebrows, but I just went in with my NYX micro brow pencil in chocolate just to help me further define her brows because she already has great brows. And then I cleaned up with a little bit of concealer. So for the crease color, I went into my Modern Renaissance palette and I'm working Burnt Orange and Real Ga into her crease with my 224 blending brush, and I'm just really blowing that color up all the way through her crease and up to her brow bone. So once I have that down, I'm going in with a little bit of tempera and vermeer and ever so lightly just tapping that along the highest parts of her brow bone area there just to help me highlight and lift up her eyes a little bit. Now I'm going in with Cypress Umber, which is like a dark brownie type gray color. It's a cool tone brown, and I'm working that in really big circular motions in the outer crease and the outer corner of her eye just to help me add some definition and intensity on the outer corner of the eye there. Now I'm going in with my NYX jumbo pencil in the shade Black Bean, and I'm just working this gel base, this cream base, sorry, all along her mobile eyelids, and I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques shading brush and just really blend out that base. I'm not going to blend that base out any higher than her mobile eyelids, like when she opens her eyes, as you can see, no higher than there, and just really blend out the base so that it's really smooth. So once I have that done, I'm going to go back into my blending brush, pick up some more Real Ga and Burnt Orange, and just use it to diffuse the edges of the black. Now I'm going in with a really matte black eyeshadow and patting that all the way along where I put the black base. So I'm completely covering that cream base with the black shadow to set that base. Then I go into my Makeup Addiction Flame in Love palette and using my 217 brush, again, which is a blending brush, and I'm going to use that to blend out the edges of the black into the Real Ga so that there's no separation between the crease and the lid color. I want it all to look really, really blended, really soft and just gorgeous to look at. No demarcation of colors whatsoever. So once I have that done, I'm going to go back in, pick up my big 224 and just help me further blend out the shadows. So now for the star of the show is this beautiful pigment eyeshadow from Inglot in the shade 120, and it's a beautiful duochrome bluey purpley color that I thought worked really fantastic for Mary's skin tone. And I'm just patting that base onto the onto the black base with a stiff concealer brush that I sprayed a little bit of Fix Plus spray on. So I'm just working that and kind of carving out a cut crease there for Mary, as you can see. So once that's down, now I'm going in with some of my eBay glitter, and I chose to go with like a bluey greeny sort of aquamarine feely type color. I'm sorry, I'm trying to describe my colors, but I'm just trying to tap into some form of aquamarine vibey type colors for Mary. So I tapped that glitter all over the pigment with a big fluffy brush so that the glitter was not like too densely applied onto the eyes. So now I'm going in and I'm giving her a wing liner. What's a New Year's Eve or a New Year's Day party look without a wing liner? You have to have a wing, right ladies? So I'm giving her a wing liner with my Inglot gel liner and my Zoeva 213 wing liner brush. And for her eyelashes, I opted for Demi Wispy style lashes from Lashes by Accessory Circus, my favorite eyelash company. So then I just use my duo glue. I use the clear one, and once I applied the lashes, I go back in over the liner with my liquid liner to help me intensify the liner and hide the band of the lashes. So now we're going on to the face, and I'm going to be working my Black Opal Cream Stick Foundation all over Mary's skin with my Real Techniques sponge. I cannot be specific on the shades, I do apologize, because I have all of my foundations depotted into a palette, and I did have to mix a couple of shades together to get the shade for Mary, so I really cannot tell you what I used. I do apologize, but yeah, that's what I'm doing there, just really patting and bouncing and dabbing that foundation all the way into her skin so that it absorbs it, and it, you know, she has like a skin like finish. The last thing you want to do is like be swiping the sponge around, because you're just going to move that foundation around and it's not going to look very good. So for our highlights, I'm going in with my NYX HD concealer, and I'm going to apply that concealer all over Mary's highlight areas. So underneath both eyes, the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, underneath the chin, and very lightly across the forehead as well. So once I have applied that highlight concealer everywhere I need it, I'm going to go back in using the sponge, and I am going to dab that product into her skin. Again, if you're using sponges or even a brush, tapping dabbing motions is the best way to get, you know, the best coverage from your product. If you're swiping, you're just moving the product around, it's not going to do what it needs to do. So once I'm done blending that, I'm going to flip the sponge over to the foundation end and just tap the edges of that highlight into the foundation so that everything looks really blended. Going back into my foundation palette, I'm going to contour her nose and her face just a little bit. She don't really need the contouring. Reverse contouring alone works great for Mary, but because we're being extra today, we're gonna go in and just contour her features. Why not? Now I'm using my Makeup Revolution contour brush, I think it is, and I'm just using that to lightly blend out the contour I have applied on her face. And for the nose contour, I go back into my sponge and just really dab that product into her skin. So this is what Mary's base makeup is looking like at the moment. Now that we've applied all of the creams, we're going to go in with powder. For her under eye or for her highlight areas, I'm going in with Sacha Buttercup powder, and I'm going to use that to set all of the highlight concealer or the highlight products, cream products I used. For Mary's under eyes, I'm not baking because her skin is kind of like combination, which means she's got dry patches going on underneath the eyes, and the last thing you want to do is bake because it's going to just further emphasize that dryness. So underneath the eyes, I just really wet the powder into the skin, whilst for the bridge of the nose and the chin, I let the powder sit there for a little bit, let it break for a little bit, and then press the powder into her skin. So once I've done all of that, I'm now going to go into my Mayron powder and just use that to help me like not reverse contour, but chisel out her cheekbones. Girl. So then once that's done, I'm now going to go with my powder contour products, and I'm going to use that to set all of that cream contour products I applied earlier. Again, you want to be careful that you're not being too vigorous with your brush and your powder, otherwise you're going to move all of that cream base around. So ever so lightly work that powder over the cream contour and set it. Now I'm going to take off the translucent powder by pressing the powder into her skin with the brush. And then to set all of her face makeup, for her face powder, I'm using my Black Opal Deluxe powder in the shade Deep. And again, pouncing the brush into her skin and just really pressing the product in and setting all of that makeup. I'm going to now go in and bronze up her face using my CoverGirl bronzer Ebony Bronze. And working that between the contour shade and the highlight, I'm just really working that bronzer in. And then again, I like to go down the center of the face as well. So for her blush, I used my Sleek blush in the shade Pink Parfait, and just giving her a flush of color to her beautiful, beautiful skin there. I'm just tapping the blush onto the skin. So now we're going in with highlight, and I used two highlighters. I used Max Gold Deposit, which is a really gold one, and a bronze one from Makeup Revolution in the shade Rock on World. And I'm just using that to highlight her cheekbones above the eyebrows. I'm gonna go in and use that to highlight. Oh, Mary, girl, hey. She didn't think I was gonna leave that footage in there, guys. She's gonna be well shocked. So now I'm going in and I am going to contour her nose using my stick powder in the shade medium, and again with the same two highlighters to highlight the nose and the cupid's bow. And then I go back in again because we're being extra, we just amp up the face highlight. So now I'm going in and I'm just smoking out her lower lash line with a little bit of matte black eyeshadow. I didn't line her waterline because she blinks a lot and her eyes water, so we skipped that part. Some mascara on the bottom lashes, and her eyes are pretty done. Now for the lips, I'm going in with a brown lip liner. I think I used Chestnut from MAC there, and I'm just using that to line and define her lips. And for her lipstick, I dug right back into my archives and I picked up Mink from Revlon. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful nude for any woman of color, really. Any woman of color can use this and pull it off. It's a beautiful, beautiful nudie shade. And I just worked that into her lips, blended it all out, and then I set her face with Fix Plus spray, as you do, and Mary was ready to hit the town. I hope, guys, that you enjoyed this video and that we was able to like inspire you with ideas for a New Year's Eve look, or for a New Year's Eve party look, or for New Year's Day. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.